Supreme Master Qinghai International Association relief news from Japan. As of Thursday, March 17th, the confirmed death toll from Japan's largest 9.0 earthquake and devastating tsunami on March 11th had exceeded 5,400, with more than 2,000 people injured and over 9,000 others still unaccounted for. As recent snow and freezing temperatures continued to hamper relief efforts, shelters packed with people are lacking in basic necessities such as water, food, heat and light, as well as medical supplies. With the cold increasing demand for limited power supplies, the Japanese government warned of a massive blackout in Tokyo on Thursday evening, prompting the Transport Ministry to reduce the number of trains.
Expressing her deep gratitude for the outpouring of international aid for Japan at this time, Supreme Master Qinghai had immediately pledged a $20,000 donation on March 11, 2011, conveying her sorrow and loving prayers as she asked that our association members go render aid and share comfort with the most desperate victims. Our association's relief teams from Japan and Formosa or Taiwan have travelled to some of the hardest hit disaster areas to meet the needs for essential items. Per Supreme Master Qinghai's request for updates, the following is a report from our association's relief team in Japan.
March 17th, 2011. Regarding earthquake and tsunami in Japan. Most compassionate master, here in Japan, the first relief team for assessing the situation came back early this morning from the tsunami-stricken area of Iwate Prefecture. Usually, the government doesn't permit any private rescue team to enter to disaster sites so early on, but we were able to go smoothly into Rikusen Takata City, Iwate Prefecture. We could also get gasoline 3 times on the way. We were the first private relief team allowed to enter this area, where we found the disaster victims are receiving water and relief supplies from the next city, but it's not enough. Our second rescue team bringing relief supplies will leave Tokyo tomorrow. It takes 8 or 9 hours from Tokyo to the disaster site by car. In addition, Ranma Center of Japan has gone to distribute relief supplies to disaster victims of Mito City in Ibaraki Prefecture. Despite the terrible tragedies, discomfort and radiation fears, the people are hanging on with dignity and hope. Master's aid will surely ease some of their worries in their hearts. Thank you so much, Master, for your love in Japan. We will send more updates soon. With all our love, relief team in Japan.
Upon seeing this report, Supreme Master Qinghai responded with the following message. Thank you and bless you for being so kind to the vulnerable. My heart is a little comforted knowing you are there to render love and shared sorrow. Please know that my prayers are with you and the good people of Japan. We will offer $30,000 more for reimbursement and additional urgently needed items for the elderly and children especially. Our thankfulness to Supreme Master Qinghai for permitting us to share these details with our viewers, as well as our association's foreign group for making this information available.
Meanwhile, in an update on the nuclear situation which is being compared to previous grave accidents of Chernobyl in Ukraine and 3 Mile Island in the USA, radiation levels at municipalities around Japan's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant continued to exceed normal measurements. 65 kilometers northwest of the plant at Fukushima City, the radiation was 13.9 microsieverts per hour, or 340 times higher than usual. A previously established evacuation zone of 20 kilometers around the plant was maintained, with residents between 20 and 30 kilometers distance also being asked to stay indoors. High radiation levels were found at distances of 30 kilometers from the nuclear plant, whereas previously it was 20 kilometers.
Many of the estimated 50,000 people in this region's Minami-Soma city moved out, and the city was preparing to move the remaining 30,000 from Fukushima Prefecture, as shelters in the prefecture were already full. Low concentrations of radioactive particles deemed not harmful to humans were also observed heading eastward toward North America.
The situation at the nuclear plant is still very serious, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, which plant operator Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, has also admitted. Sir John Beddington, the British government's chief scientific officer, said the crisis is still very troublesome. According to ABC News, a US official said that if the situation is not controlled within a critical 48 hours, the nuclear disaster could be deadly for decades. French government spokesperson François Bawang indicated Fukushima's potential to be the worst nuclear disaster in world history, saying, "In the worst of cases, it could have an impact worse than Chernobyl." European Union Energy Commissioner Günther Oettinger also said, "There is talk of an apocalypse, and I think the word is particularly well chosen. Practically everything is out of control. I cannot exclude the worst in the hours and days to come."
The priority on Thursday was in cooling the overheating spent fuel pools in the number 3 and number 4 reactors, which threatened to emit highly contaminated radioactive materials. Following an initially unsuccessful mission, helicopters from Japan's Self-Defense Forces, or SDF, were sent again to pour seawater on the number 3 reactor tower on Thursday, after which the personnel had to be decontaminated.
This air mission was followed by a ground operation where water was shot at high pressures from a police water cannon truck and SDF fire trucks. However, this was halted due to the danger to personnel of high radiation levels. A plan to provide a power cable connected to the external grid that would supply electricity to the coolant systems is still being carried out, with the hope that it will be completed soon. Meanwhile, personnel on site has been nearly doubled to 322, with teams working in shifts of 50 in an attempt to minimize their exposure to the high radiation levels. Experts such as Gregory Yasko, chairman of the US Nuclear Regulatory Commission, expressed concern that many of the heroic workers might suffer lethal radiation doses despite protective clothing. In a meeting with Japan's Prime Minister Naoto Kan overnight on Wednesday, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon again offered help with the nuclear crisis.
Japan's nuclear crisis has also sparked much concern from governments around the world, with rising doubts about the assurances of safety from Japanese officials. The United Kingdom and South Korea joined the United States in calling their nationals to stay outside an 80-kilometre radius from the quake-stricken plant.
Singapore has told her nationals to evacuate beyond 100 kilometers. Voluntarily, other foreigners are also packing up and leaving Japan for fear of radiation. The US sent aircraft for families of diplomats to leave Japan, as thousands of military families are being assisted as well.
As Spain's government announced plans to review security measures at all 6 of its nuclear power plants, the Chinese State Council ordered safety inspections in each of the nation's nuclear facilities as it suspended approval of new nuclear projects. Meanwhile, Russian President Dmitry Medvedev and Turkish Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan have declared the safety of nuclear power, as did President Nicolas Sarkozy of France, which is the world's second-largest producer of nuclear energy. However, President Sarkozy also called a meeting of G20 ministers in coming weeks to discuss alternative energy options.
Our appreciation the dedicated response of all governments, agencies, relief personnel and experts involved in support for Japan and her people. We also thank Supreme Master Ching Hai for her timely assistance to those still in dire need, and our diligent association's relief team. We pray that this distressful situation eases for all those affected, and that such extreme disasters are minimized through our conscientious efforts to care for all beings.
Supreme Master Ching Hai wants to convey this message of gratitude to all governments, organisations and relief workers from every corner of the world. Thank you all the international and national help that brings care and necessities to afflicted victims. Thank you all the relief workers for taking time and forsaking your own comfort, even travelling great distance on unfavourable roads and conditions to bring love and assistance to people in time of need. May heaven bless you abundantly for your generosity and noble sacrifice.